Smile, go.
Okay, thank you guys for coming. Just have a short little presentation for you. Here's our class. You can find your child all ready to go. They're all here excited and ready to learn every day, which is really exciting for us who work with them. I don't know how much you were explained when your child was recommended for the program, but the program was developed based on research. Goes for PPCD as well as pre-K. Research has found that with intervention and increased exposure to language, that preschool children have a higher opportunity to develop age-appropriate academic skills and or correct possible developmental delays that can help them be better students later on in their later grades. So it'll help them be better readers, better problem solvers, that they're here and being exposed to all the things that we do in our program. You guys receive a newsletter from me every week. We talk. You all feel free to call me and ask me questions or come up, and so it's great. We have a great relationship, and that's really important because, as the old saying goes, it takes a village. It really does. We all have to work together as parents, educators, and administrators to make sure that we're doing the best that we can to provide what your children need so that they can grow academically as well as socially. This is the age 3 to 5, they're like sponges, and what that means is their brain is developing so fast that it's really a critical time that we try to capture and utilize to the best of our advantage to help them to develop proper skills for later reading and problem solving. Here you have a picture of the brain that I've provided, and then next to the brain there's a network, and it's kind of hard to read. The middle of the network is the word yellow, and then all the different things that could be associated with the word yellow. So maybe a yellow traffic light, or the sunshine, or a flower. And what happens and how they did this brain research was they took scans of the brain, and that showed that the more the brain was exposed, the more languages it was exposed to, the more activity there were in certain parts of the brain depending on if it was music they were listening to, or language, or doing problem solving for math, or different types of things. And why this is important, because we learned that the brain takes the information that we learn and we create these networks. The lines in between all the bubbles are what we call synopsis. The more that people were engaged, especially children age 3 to 5, which is what our program is geared towards, the more that they're exposed to language and play and just different types of interactive things that we do here in our program, the more synopsis, the more of those connections they're going to make. And those connections are going to help support later skills, like I said, for reading and problem solving. A lot of you come to me with concerns about social development, like, is your child playing with other children yet? So I just broke it down to the different age groups that I have in the classroom so that you can see where your child stands and so that you don't worry so much. I know people want to see their children interacting and playing together, but that's really a learned skill. They don't just all of a sudden start playing. So you can see if your child is 3 years old, they still play side by side. That is what an average child does, according to research studies. They play side by side. They don't interact. They like to be around other kids. They want to play beside another child. They're just not ready to interact yet. They're not developmentally ready for that. They can follow simple directions. They recognize limits. They know basics, right and wrong. It's normal for them not to want to share or to cooperate, therefore the whole place side by side and not together kind of interaction. They can choose between two things. It's important for our children to learn to make choices, and so you want to give them the opportunity, but you don't want to give them more than 2 choices because they become overwhelmed. And it'll become time consuming for you. So, they can pick between the blue shirt and the red shirt in the morning, or between the nacho cheese Doritos and the ranch style Doritos. are some good ways to start practicing those skills with them. And another thing is that they do is they notice other people's moods. Like they should know if you're sad or happy or upset, things like that. Now, if you have a 4-year-old, at this time they're starting to learn that sharing is the nice thing to do, that they are okay with taking turns. When they get upset, they express it verbally instead of just automatically grabbing something or hitting at another child because they're upset. They can start to have feelings of jealousy at this point. They understand the concept of lying, so at this age or by this age, they will protect themselves by telling a lie. They also pretend and have vivid imaginations. In the 5-year-old category, they definitely know right from wrong. They do make-believe play. They dress up. They like to do that. They mimic adults. So, for instance, in a home center, they will mimic, making breakfast or feeding the babies and things like that. They do play with others. Having friends are important. They want to conform at this age. They want to be like everybody else. And it doesn't matter. They don't differentiate between boys and girls as far as preference. I mean, they know the difference between a boy and girl, but they will play with either or.
Good job, Miss Harris.